Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
it's Mike. We have still 57 people in the audience. I think most of them are probably here for HHS for item 2020-6. I'm not suggesting that we go ahead and take that up now because I'm sure it will take some time. But if I could address that for just one moment, I think it might clarify a lot of the interest of the public and maybe avoid them having to come back again.
Yes, and you're welcome to do so, and thank you, Mike, for that.
Okay. It's item 15B on the agenda, final proposal 2020-6. I don't know if the committee members are looking at the agenda with the attachments or if they're looking on the administrative rules website because there is a conditional approval request that is not on the agenda version. It's only on the committee packet on the website. It has a few issues remaining, but I just want to briefly touch on the public interest, which is revolving around, page 15 of the conditional approval request regarding immunization and vaccination. We have received a lot of public testimony, as I'm sure you all know, concerns that the religious exemption for not doing vaccinations hasn't been taken into account. Well, that may have been correct on the final proposal, but the department now has the conditional approval request before you. And in that conditional approval request, in paragraph I, at the bottom of page 15 on the conditional approval request, the rule specifically states that they are taking into account RSA 141-C:20-c, which provides a religious exemption for persons who do not want to have their children vaccinated. That statutory exemption is in play in the rule and is available to anybody who wants to be a foster parent but does not want to have their children immunized. I understand that there was a concern before, but it appears that the department has addressed that.
Very good. Thank you. Is that all, Mike?
Yes, I mean, people may still wish to talk about that, but there may be members of the public who have not seen the conditional approval request, which they could get from the department, which should alleviate concerns, I think, from some people.
And that's, and I think that should be very helpful to many, and everybody should understand what JLCAR is and what we do and don't do. It's, we don't make legislation, so if what's being offered in the rules by the departments are within the realm of legislative intent, there's not fiscal damage and a few other criteria. There's little we will do to change what's in the text of the rules under those provisions. So just provided that's understood also. Is there any other thing to come before us before we close and recess to the 5th, our continued meeting?
We do have a member of the public with their hand raised, so I didn't know if you want to acknowledge and just let them know that we are, in fact, going to be hearing this rule at the next continued meeting.
I will listen briefly, but depending on what it is, if it's something germane to us recessing, I'll listen to it. If not, I'll ask them to come back. So yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so it looks like the person who has their hand raised is Laura Condon.
And okay, go ahead. Laura, okay. Welcome to JLCAR. And why do you wish to speak at this moment? Let me ask you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. So I don't see me, so I wasn't sure if I was on. I understand you're adjourning. I won't speak to the rule in its entirety, but I do have a question for clarification to Michael Morrow, if I may, with regard to that one provision he just referenced. I do not understand his explanation of this provision, and I would seek further explanation. My understanding from a straight reading from this provision, so that parents can prepare for when you actually do have the hearing on this. It says for any foster parent seeking to provide childcare for children 6 and over, that there would be some sort of religious exemption for all children if one child in the household asserted a religious exemption. So am I to understand that correctly, that there's no religious exemption if there's children in the household under age 6? And that's my first question. And number 2.
Okay, before you go a lot further, Laura, and
Yeah.
I'll ask staff if this is okay. Can you be reached through email and add clarity for her for these questions she may have? Would that be okay?
Certainly.
Okay, so Laura, let's do that. Contact
Okay.
Attorney Morrow or the JLCAR office. They're still available through email, and ask for your clarifications there. I apologize. We will not take comment any further on this. So with that,
Request for clarification, Mr. Chairman.
yes.
You've already postponed a number of items, but to the meeting on the 19th. So what you're talking about postponing now are certain items for the meeting on the 5th. And I just wanted to be clear what those were.
Well,
It appears one of them.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, one of them is the item that had been taken off the consent agenda for the Department of Safety, EXIR 2020-3.
Yeah.
That's the 3 proposals remaining from Health and Human Services,
Yeah.
-5, -6, -11. And then there's the Insurance Department, final proposal 2020-8 on pharmacy benefits. These rules are the ones that will go to June 5th.
Correct.
Understand it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And well, Scott, let me ask you this. We've already moved the other items to the, yeah, we'll just leave it as it is and give those items on the continuing meeting.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And as I said, the other items that were going to the 19th, they've all got, either the agency was willing to take a postponement or their conditional approval requests have been filed and haven't yet been reviewed. And we need time to do that. These others, though, are that go to the 5th, we're set to go. So you could move those to the 5th.
If I may ask, any of those that we moved to the 19th would be appropriate or make sense to seek looking at them the 5th, or just leave things as they are? Why don't we leave things as they are?
Yeah, at this point, it's hard to tell. Again,
Yeah.
they were all conditional approval requests and stuff, and that have yet to be, for most of them, yet to be reviewed, or have outstanding issues for those in the one case that have been reviewed. So, and we know that these items coming up for the 5th are going to have public testimony anyway. So at this point, I would say no, that the ones that you indicated going to the 19th should continue to go there.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you. And we don't need a vote for closing these. We're not. So I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank staff's help for putting this together. It was a new adventure and interesting to put together, and it took a lot of effort by a lot of people. And I really
Again, one clarification. Under the circumstances, again, maybe you should take a roll call vote on the recess of what items are going to June 5th. So that's clear.
We do, okay, we'll do that. And do we have enough left here for that? Yes. Would you state what items we're going to deal with the 5th against
Okay.
that?
The expedited revision to incorporation by reference 2020-3 from the Department of Safety. From the Department of Health and Human Services, final proposals 2020-5, -6 and -11. -6 is the one that has the public testimony on foster family care licensing. And 2020, final proposal 2020-8 from insurance on pharmacy benefits.
Okay. That's for the items to be addressed, the continued meeting the 5th, and we're going to have a vote for those items to have them in the continued meeting on the 5th, and when Senator Reagan's ready, we'll just call the roll.
Oh, we need a motion and a second on that?
For adjourning, yes, I'll entertain the motion from Representative Williams.
Sure, I would move that we postpone actions as referenced by Mr. Eaton.
Second,
Moved and seconded by Senator or Representative Schuett, and all in favor? No, we'll roll. John, you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Etch,
Yes.
Schmidt, Williams,
Yes.
Burstein,
Yes.
Schuett,
yes.
Deitch,
Yes.
Reagan votes yes. Ward,
She's gone.
Waters,
I didn't hear my name called.
You voted yes, Peter.
Wanted to. I was getting a phone call at the same time.
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you, John. Well, again, thank everybody. And again, it was a lot of efforts by a lot of people, staff in particular, to put this together. And thanks everybody for their patience. And with that, we'll close the meeting and we'll see you the 5th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, for a well-conducted meeting.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll talk soon.
Regards to everybody.
Yeah. And thank you. Scott, you enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you to the staff.
Yes,
You.
very much so.
Thank you all.